on Paranormal Insights, we're going to look at the tarot and can it tell your future?
And we have a viewer question from Jolene who wants to know whether or not she should keep her house.
And a quick look with Michelle Battermann and Integrative Therapies. I'm Joseph Ernest Martin.
I'm Cindy Grayson.
And this is Paranormal Insights, where we bring you the latest and best from the metaphysical world.
Here we bring you real tools and insights to your questions as we give you answers from beyond the ordinary.
Cindy is a certified hypnotherapist specializing in past life regressions. She also works with spirit guides and other white light entities as a medical intuitive.
Joseph is an award-winning psychic of over 25 years, and he's authored the international bestseller, The Quest Tarot. And Joseph is the recipient of the Visionary Award of Excellence.
Well, okay, I just have to admit it. Of course, I love any topic about the tarot because I designed a tarot deck and wrote a book about the tarot. So, of course, I'm intimately involved with it. Every year, thousands of people I'm reading using the cards. So I love this system of divination. I love the cards. I love the artwork. I can't help but be excited that we're able to bring this to people in a way where they can understand that this is a fun kind of thing to try.
Well, it's not only fun. Some people do it for entertainment, but we know that there's a much higher message in it. And I have to say, your tarot deck is so beautiful. I have a few tarot decks. Not that I've studied any of them, but I do have yours. And if I don't get that great feeling when I look at it, and you've got so much detail in your cards that it just draws you into the card, and then you realize you have a whole bunch more cards to go through.
When most people think of tarot, they think of a gypsy woman dressed in scarves and dim lighting, telling you of a terrible thing that is about to happen. And if you're from the Midwest, you might pronounce it tarot cards with a hard T at the end. But the preferred pronunciation comes from the French with the last T as silent, pronounced tarot. Modern culture takes a very different view in movies like The Red Violin. The prediction in the cards comes true, just not in the way that anyone can imagine. But there are literally hundreds of films in which the tarot makes an appearance. Films like James Bond and Live and Let Die, The Wolfman, Wishful Thinking, What's the Worst That Can Happen, A Walk on the Moon, Venus and Mars, Tombstone, Thinner, Soylent Green, Sherlock Holmes, The Gift, and many more. Though the tarot has been rumored to have origins as far back as ancient Egypt, the historical records of tarot first appear in around the 15th century. The cards were used as part of a game from Italy called Tarocchi. This game was very popular, and the archetypal images soon started being used for divination. Each card in modern tarot contains a pictogram and a title that represents a specific type of energy or concept. Carl Gustav Jung, a Swiss psychotherapist and psychiatrist, wrote about the importance of the archetypes in the tarot and what they can mean to a person, and that these archetypes descended from the archetypes of transformation. So, can the tarot not only predict your future, but can it also transform your life? The answer is yes and yes. As Niels Bohr wrote, prediction is very difficult, especially if it's about the future. And this is true of any divination system. The future is always in motion. And if we believe in quantum physics, there may be multiple futures in which we can live or experience a different reality. What the tarot will do is show you the direction or energy path that is currently present. It'll give you information about what is actually happening and then make recommendations to you about what you may consider doing. Remember that people are self-determined, not predetermined. So that means that you and other people can change your minds at any time, thus changing the course of the future. The simplest way to think about this is, if there's a hole in the road, it's good to know in advance so you can walk around it and not fall in it. The tarot can give you that information, but it is still your choice whether or not you want to fall into the hole. Conversely, if it's going to be raining money, I'd like to know in advance so I can bring a bucket. The tarot can help with that also. The system of shuffling the cards puts your energy into the deck and takes what some would call random system and orders it with your energy. You can think of it as though your subconscious is accessing the cards to talk with your own conscious mind. Of course, I use the deck I created, the Quest Tarot, and have found its modern interpretations of the classic archetypes to match the new age of energy that we're in today. Give the tarot a try, take your time, and soon you'll be getting those very important and transforming messages from beyond.
But I have to say, you did a beautiful job with your deck, and clearly it's been recognized. You have awards for it.
Oh, thank goodness.
And it's in what, 4 different languages?
Yes.
5 different countries?
Exactly.
Okay, that's a successful deck,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Lots of fun. The cards are fun to work with. They're really kind of amazing. And I actually want to just take a moment to talk about how things can be different with different card decks, because there's like 500 or 600 different kinds of tarot decks you can get. You know, even though I would love you to have the Quest Tarot, I really want you more to have a tarot deck that really speaks to you, that you feel very happy with.
There are hundreds of different types of tarot cards. Angel cards, healing cards, psychic cards, fairy cards, animal cards, you name it, there's probably a deck for it. But it's funny how some people are frightened about the traditional tarot deck, but willingly purchase angel cards. Think about it. What's the difference? A tarot deck consists of 3 major areas: major arcana, the court cards, and minor arcana. Did you know that the word arcana is Latin for secret? The major arcana usually consists of 22 cards and is related to matters of higher purpose or deep significance. Within the major arcana, there are common misconceptions about some of the cards. There's the death card, for example. It means transformation, the end of something, the time of change. The devil card, it usually means that you're not in control of your life, perhaps due to your own actions, but more likely it's due to the lack of action. And there's the hangman. It's an indication that you need to look inward for the lesson to be learned. Then there are the court cards. Court cards usually indicate people in a person's life. It may be people in the past, present, or the future. And the third area is the minor arcana cards, and these are usually related to daily matters or relatively mundane features of life. The minor arcana cards consist of 4 suits, which are similar to the 4 suits of a regular deck of playing cards. The 4 suits work together to make up a kind of recipe to manifest dreams and goals. The minor arcana card suits are wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. The suit of wands symbolizes creativity, ideas, intention, growth, and passion. The suit of cups represents the shift from idea into action, love, emotion, and empathy. The suit of swords symbolizes thought, movement, change, and observation. And the suit of pentacles represents health, wealth, results, and prosperity. So you see, the tarot is filled with symbols, images, pictures, words, and archetypes about our everyday lives. Within these little mirrors, our life spring all your opportunities for self-improvement, and who knows, maybe even your future.
Now, some decks are kind of scary. They can have purposefully scary images, difficult words or metaphors in the deck, but most decks are very positive. And we are in a new age. We're in the Aquarian age.
That's right.
It leads with the feminine. And so, like the Quest Tarot, my deck, it leads with the feminine first, starting with mother and then going mother, father, daughter, son, instead of King, Queen, Knight, Page. So why would these things be important? Because you want to be able to relate to the cards you're actually using. I think that when you're using any kind of tool, you always want to remember that you're the one who's the psychic. You're the one getting the message. The tool is just helping you access that information.
That's right. And again, focusing on something external is really important, because then you can take your ego out of it and allow the information to flow from the divine through you and into the card.
Here's a tip for doing a daily morning spread with the tarot. Take your cards, shuffle them 3 times while thinking of the question you want to ask. I recommend asking a question like, what do I need to know for today to stay on my best life path? Then lay out onto a table 3 cards. The left card will represent past influences. The middle card will represent current influences, and the right card will represent future outcomes. Take a moment to consider what that could mean for you. Try not to judge the card message, just have it. Even if it doesn't make sense to you at the moment, most likely by the end of the day it will make perfect sense. Read the 3 cards from left to right like you would be reading a sentence. And use the book that came with your deck to help you with the card meanings. It's really okay. Also, keep a journal of your readings and their messages. Then compare the reading to reality over time so that you can see how the cards are speaking to you directly and personally.
Rather than reading or looking for something that you want the answer to.
Right, and we're all kind of like that, you know. When we are, even people experience with tarot who are reading, you know, we lay out a spread, we go, I don't like that answer, I'm going to lay out some more cards, I'm going to see what's happening there. Though, when I first started reading, I had my 3 tarot books always in my bag. And I would have the books, I would have my paper to take notes, I would have my cards on the table, and I would go through the books and make notes because I felt it doesn't matter if I memorize everything. What matters is if I can get in the flow of what's actually being said or presented to me. And I will tell you this absolutely. You would expect the tarot to be random because you shuffle the cards and mix them up. So it should be yes, no, black, white, up, down, left, right. But in over 25 years of doing readings, I have to tell you, I have seen the cards be thematic toward a message or destination for the person in a very specific way, which is way outside the realm of mathematical possibility.
Well, which holds true with anything, but the tarot is such a concrete thing to work with rather than somebody's just talking to you. They can actually see what you have in front of them, and whether they understand the card deck or not, they can actually look at the card you're looking at and they can get a little understanding of what it is you're talking about. And it's just fascinating. But I have to say, growing up, we've talked about our religious backgrounds, and I was taught that it's the devil's cards. And I remember the first time somebody did a tarot card reading on me, I was scared to death. My mom was there. It was a big holiday meal. And it was like, am I inviting the devil into my life? I didn't know better. I listened to all those man-made rules. And I found out that the only thing wrong with tarot is when people give it a negative meaning. It's all about intent.
Oh, absolutely. You know, if you have a knife can be used to do a surgery and save a person's life, or it can be used to hurt somebody. It's just a tool. And the tarot is simply just a tool also. I will tell you, I was doing a reading for a young woman in Fresno, California. And beautiful young woman, like 22, 23, gorgeous. And she said, well, I'd like to ask about my health. What do you think about my health? Well, I looked at her, and she looks absolutely beautiful, radiant, stunning. So I lay out the cards, and on one of the cards was a symbol, and that symbol raised up off the card and changed visually. And I said to her, okay, you're going to think I'm just flipping nuts because you are gorgeous. You look young and healthy and amazing. But I got to tell you, there's something wrong with your blood system, the blood flowing through your body, the circulatory system. There's some problem here. If you haven't been to a doctor, you need to see a doctor. And she said, you're right. She says, I'm having trouble with my liver, and that's why I was asking about health. But you wouldn't know that to look at her. And that's because when we use a system to access the ethereal, almost always the truth will come out.
Well, I think it always comes out. It's whether or not we tune into it and we see it, because sometimes we are skewed by visually what we see in the person that comes to us.
And something to be said too, the only times I've ever seen the cards be random or bizarre is when there's been a spirit entity present. And when we've removed that spirit entity through holy water or sage or what have you, the cards have returned back to normal. It's important to note that you are in charge of your own life. The cards don't control you. Your guides don't control you. You get the information you need, and then you make your life decisions.
Absolutely. You still have free choice no matter what. Let's go see Michelle about some integrative therapy.
I'm here with Michelle Battermann and Integrated Holistic Therapies. Michelle has this amazing thing that I just found out about called the Biomat, and it uses amethyst. This is a healing modality that actually is very new to me, and I'm just fascinated with it. Michelle, how did you get involved with this Biomat?
Well, I'm a massage therapist and naturopath, and I just learned about the amethyst biomat actually through a friend of mine, and It's a fascinating healing mat. It uses 3 different technologies. It uses infrared rays, it uses negative ion therapy, as well as amethyst crystals. So synergistically, they work together to provide a profound healing effect for the body.
Well, you know, I heard everything you said, but some of this is a little above my head. Now, is this kind of mat, does it use electricity also as part of its work, or does it plug in? Or
It does plug in, and the mat does increase in heat, and it uses different degrees and different levels, depending on what type of healing you need. So, for instance, somebody who needs a very intense healing, somebody who has a lot of back pain, for instance, would use a higher level, and that's also very detoxifying for the body at a higher level, kind of like being in a sauna.
So if I had hurt my leg and it was causing me some pain and discomfort, and I was considering the biomat, what kind of result could I get from using the biomat?
You can definitely decrease the pain in your leg and perhaps eliminate the pain. I've had people who've come by my booth at different fairs, and people would come with some pain in their leg. For instance, some people who are diabetic and just constantly have pain in their leg. They would try the mat for about 10 minutes, and so when they got up, they said the pain was completely gone.
So you're saying that just as little as a 10-minute treatment with this mat can actually relieve pain?
Oh, definitely.
Now, if someone were to buy this and take it home, do they just use it at 10 minutes at a time, or what kind of home treatment can someone do if they own this?
Again, it depends on the individual's needs. If somebody is using it at home, I would recommend between 30 minutes and an hour for a treatment.
That's longer.
So if somebody does want to do just a quick treatment, they can do like a 15-20 minute would be fine. I generally would recommend doing a 30 to an hour treatment, and that would provide the best benefit for anybody who's especially doing it at home.
Well, a lot of people know what amethyst is. It's it's a beautiful stone and it's a beautiful color. How does amethyst help this biomat work better?
The amethyst crystals actually act as a superconductor for the infrared rays, so it's actually delivering the rays deeper into the body. For instance, somebody who is going to a sauna, an infrared sauna, the infrared rays will only penetrate a few inches into the body, where this is going to penetrate about 6 to 7 inches into the body, or even deeper.
Okay, well, 6 to 7 inches, that's really a lot.
So, yeah, you're getting a very deep, deep healing effect.
Now, you also have your own business.
I do.
Yes, and what's the name of it?
It's called Therapeutics, and it's in Albany, California.
Now, so people can come to Therapeutics in Albany and they can experience the biomat?
They can. They certainly can. I have an office there. It's a holistic salon and spa and wellness center. I do provide the amethyst biomat for treatments, either 30 minutes or 60 minutes. And I also do a lot of different integrative therapies. For instance, bodywork, massage therapy, nutrition. We do holistic facials. We also do holistic hair services. So we provide quite a bit there.
Well, that's really good. That's very full featured. Now, I do have a question for you, though. If people want to find you, how can they find you?
They can find me on my website at www.therapeutics.com, and that's spelled THAIRAPEUTICS.
Very good. Now, is there a phone number they can call you at?
Yes. And they could call me at 510-525-3314. That's my office number. Or you can reach me at 510-717-4325.
And that information, of course, is going to be on this segment as well as at the end credits at the end of the show to make it very easy for you to find out more about the biomat and about all the stuff that Michelle's doing. She's really full-featured therapeutic center here.
And now we have a question from a viewer, Jolene, who wants to know about whether or not to keep her house.
My question for you is about my house. I'm not sure if I should try and keep the house, hang on to it through all this economic challenge, or if we should just surrender it and look for someplace else to call home. I'd love to hear what you think.
Jolene, great question, very heartfelt. questions about where we're living or where we need to live, or if we're going to let the house go or lose the house. They bring up so much emotion for us, for all of us. I've asked my guides to come in. I've asked your guides to come in. Let's see what they have to say about this for you and this obviously emotional and difficult time. I want to tell you right away that your guides are going to be with you in a very big way this year, next year, and the following 2 years. You're going to get 4 years of their energy and attention there to help you, to try to make things perfect. Though it's hard to believe and sometimes hard to understand, sometimes we do have to let things go or let go of something in order for other good changes to happen. It just doesn't look that way sometimes from the beginning, and it won't look that way to you. It's really going to feel like loss for you, and I don't see that feeling as changing. However, you do get the multiverse in the near future position, and this says that releasing this house is going to open up new opportunity, new adventure, new people in your life, new things that are going to be actually good for you going forward into the future. It's important you do things smartly, though. So I don't want you to do anything spontaneous or spur of the moment. I want this to be like all on paper, thought out, the numbers make sense, you're doing the right move, like that. And if you can't do that on your own, or you need someone to help you, please enlist someone to help you at this time, because it's important that you act very smartly at this time. The universe is going to put energy forward to not lean you toward magic and intuition. It's going to push you more toward pragmatism, which is making business decisions based on dollars, cents, numbers, things that are in the rational. Though this may sound very hard to do at the same time, it's important that you try to remain happy, full of joy, even though this change will represent a very big change for you. Your outcome is that you will feel as though somehow you failed. And I want you to know you actually haven't. This really is part of your life path. I believe, according to what your guides are telling me, what they're showing me in the cards, that this change for you is going to work out for the better. And as time goes by, you're going to feel it working out for the better more and more and more. It's going to just feel difficult. Emotionally, change is hard for everyone, us too. But many times, change is just what we need to make room for new and wonderful things in our lives. And this is what's going to be happening for you. This change, this letting the house go, as I see it for you, is going to improve your life, especially 4 years from now when you look back. Jolene, trust in your future. You're a wonderful person. We wish you all the luck in the world. And I'm going to tell you, 4 years from now, you're going to look back at this and go, thank God I made these changes.
Jolene, the key here is that you need to make your own decision. But here's what your guides are saying. You need to decide whether your hopes, dreams, and memories are a priority, or if a bit more financial freedom and new dreams are a higher priority. Your guides are saying that you're leaning towards walking away from your home, but that you can't shake the feeling of being a complete failure by doing so. They're telling me that a new adventure is actually exciting to you. The other family members involved in this decision are really looking to you for the final decision. That responsibility overwhelms you. What if you're wrong? It isn't really about right or wrong. It's about which direction do you choose to go. You've already compared the cost of staying with the higher interest rate to the cost of moving and securing a lower interest rate somewhere else, along with a smaller home and lower utility expenses. The memories and dreams will remain with you and your family. You may not realize it, but you're operating from a place of ego rather than higher consciousness. When you operate from a place of ego, your third chakra is out of balance. Your guides are telling me that you're experiencing stomach issues completely related to this decision. And I'm being shown that you take your mind off the issue by focusing on food, and that's never a good idea. Make peace with the fact that neither decision is wrong. The right decision for you and your family is the path you choose to follow. Either path will include bumps and challenges. Accept that and move forward. You will make the right choice. You know, I really feel for Jolene. So many people are in this position and they don't know whether to make a really hard decision, but what really confuses them is when they get their ego involved with this and they don't know which way to go, because then they feel like a failure. And it's not about failing.
Well, you know, we know that. And it is so hard to separate one's ego when you're looking at, am I going to lose my house, my home where I'm living? The most successful people I know are so good about rolling with the punches, going with the flow. But I do read for so many people who, rightly so, are panicked about their living space.
I would panic, and my ego would be involved. But what's interesting is the fact that we were able to communicate with her guides.
Yes.
And both of us were shown that she is likely going to make the change. But again, neither choice is going to be wrong. She just needs to make a choice, understand there are going to be issues, and follow it.
And letting go for real change to happen is so hard to do, but it's the essential bit of magic that makes everything move forward. When we finally do that last letting go, we often see that miracles appear immediately within the next day or two, sometimes even the same day, once we've released our stranglehold on that energy.
Absolutely, because once we let go, we've also let go of ego, and then it's like the clouds part and we can see what direction we're supposed to go. It becomes very clear, and then it becomes comfortable.
And comfortable is part of what we're supposed to be doing anyway in this lifetime. We're meant to have a lot of fun and to learn a lot here on this Earth School plane, and having things and not having things is part of our lesson. We want to answer your questions and address your topics. If you have questions you want answered or topics you want us to look into, we're easy to find. You can find me at questtarot.com or email me at joseph@questtarot.com.
You can find me at cgraysonhypnosis.com or email me, cindy@cgraysonhypnosis.com. You can watch this program on Comcast Channel 17 in the Sacramento area. See more at accesssacramento.org and on Comcast Channels 23, 28, 29, and 33 in the San Francisco Bay Area. Also on AT&T UVerse Channel 99 in the state of California every Saturday evening at 7:30 and Sunday mornings at 10. Also check out betv.org and more channel listings at att-services.net.
And you can follow us on Facebook, Vimeo, and YouTube. Simply search Paranormal Insights, Joseph Ernest Martin, or Cindy Grayson. And be sure to watch our new weekly series, The Magic Minute, where every week you'll learn easy-to-use, everyday magic to make your life better every Wednesday on YouTube. And when you watch, be sure to click like and subscribe. Please send us your questions and topics,
so we can share our paranormal insights
and answers from beyond the ordinary.